All right, so we're going to talk about the midpoint. This is for Math 1, your quiz 3.1.3. So it's in Unit 3, but it's the very first quiz in Unit 3. Okay, so midpoints are kind of exactly what they sound like. They're in the middle of, or they're the middle point of a line segment. Okay, so they're like the halfway between the two endpoints. That gives us the middle or the midpoint. And so when we're finding the midpoint, we can do it one of two ways. You can, if you're given a line segment and it's pretty easy for you, you can just count to the middle. So for example, this line segment, we have the endpoints -1, 4, and 5, 4. If we want to find the middle, that's going to be about right here. We want to count to that. So I'm going to count to 0, 1, and I'm going to go. So that's 0, 1. This would be 4, 3. So right here in the middle is 2. That is our midpoint. And that's between -1 and 5. What's between 4 and 4? Just 4. That's going to stay the same. There's no vertical change. It's just a horizontal change. So our midpoint in this case, or in this situation, would be 2, 4. That is the midpoint of this one. So let's look at some other midpoints. Let's say rather than a horizontal line, we are given a vertical line. I'm just going to clear this off. I'm going to start again. Okay, here's our grid. Now, if we are given a vertical line, say it's at -3, 6, and we'll say -3, 6. Well, that's -6. That looks about even. So we'll just say that. Okay, so we are going to count again. I want to count from the ends towards the middle. So by counting, that would be -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm moving in, I've moved 5 steps in, and right here at 0 is our midpoint. So our midpoint for this situation is -3, 0. So we don't have any horizontal change because the x's are always at -3, but our vertical change meets in the middle at 0. Okay, so those are 2 examples of midpoints. They were pretty easy to just count in towards the middle, but what if maybe it's not so easy for us, or we feel like it seems a bit too confusing? A lot of times that happens when we have a diagonal line rather than a vertical or horizontal. So let's say that we have, let me see what I've got in my examples here. Okay, we have a diagonal line. I do not promise that this is drawn to scale. -5, 4 is one endpoint, and the other endpoint is 6, -3. Now we want to find the endpoint to this, and I feel like my brain is reeling. I'm not certain that I can count to the middle of it, because how do you count along a diagonal line? Maybe you can come up with a way. If so, then go ahead and count. But if you're struggling with it, then what we can do is we can take our 2 x values and we can find the average of their distance, or just their average. So we're going to say -5. That's our x. So we're looking for our x's first. -5 plus 6. Because we have 2 numbers, we will now divide by 2. That is equal to 1/2. Okay, our y values are 4 and -3. So 4 plus -3 divided by 2 is equal to 1/2. So that makes our midpoint, that's our x coordinate, and this is our y coordinate. So our midpoint is 1/2, 1/2. Okay, that is another way to find to find our midpoint. Okay, perfect. So let's see. Let's go over another one. Let's say that we don't have a graph. Maybe we're given 2 points. So we are given 1, -6, and -3, 4. Okay, these are the endpoints of our line segment, and we are asked to find the midpoint of this line segment. So we are going to take our x values and we are going to add them together. So I get 1 plus -3 divided by 2. This will give us our average to find that middle ground. 1 plus -3 is -2, divided by 2 is -1. Okay, so now we need to find our y coordinate. So it's going to be -6 plus 4 divided by 2. So that gives me -2 divided by 2 is -1. Therefore, our midpoint is -1, -1. Okay. All right, so let's try. This all should seem pretty easy for you, hopefully, anyhow. Let's try and create a problem that might seem a bit more difficult. So maybe I've given you all integers, but maybe you're given some decimals for your endpoints, such as 3.2, 2.5, and your other endpoint is 1.6, -4.5. Okay, so we want to find our midpoint. We're again going to find the average between the x coordinates and the y coordinates. So our x coordinates, 3.2 plus 1.6 divided by 2. 3.2 plus 1.6 is 4.8. We divide that by 2 and we get 2.4. So that is our x coordinate, and now we're going to find the average of our y coordinates. So 2.5 plus a -4.5 divided by 2 equals 2.5 plus -4.5 is a -2 divided by 2. There we go. So we get 2.4 and -1. That is our midpoint. You might be given a question on your quiz that says, what is the location of the point on the number line that is 4/7 of the way from A equals 4 to B equals 18? Okay, so that sounds like a lot of information, right? So they're asking you, you're given 2 endpoints. You're told that A equals 4, B equals 18, and you're asked to find the location of the point that is 4/7 of the way from A towards B. So in other words, we have this line segment. Here's B. Here's A. A is at 4 and B is at 18. And we want to find a number that is 4/7, so it's about here. I'm going to say that this is 4/7 of the way from A to B. So this is traveling, I write so tiny, probably can't even see that. Okay, but we're going to travel along to this point, and it's going to be 4/7 of the distance that A and B cover. So how do we figure that out? That's a very good question. It's something to think about. Well, there's more than one way to do it. You could draw all your little lines in between. You could go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all the way up to 18. And you could separate this into equal segments that way and find out what 4/7 of it is. If you're not fond of drawing all those little lines and counting up how many segments you have to find 4/7, Then the other way to do it is to first off, find your distance. What is your total distance from 4 to 18? Well, we just need to subtract those two numbers to find our distance. They are 14 away from each other. And now we want to know 4/7 of that. So we are going to take our distance, and we need 4/7 of the total distance. So we'll do 14 times 4/7. I don't know what 14 times 4 is off the top of my head. I'd have to sit and think about it. But I do know what 14 divided by 7 is, and that's 2. So I just did 14, and the new denominator, 14 divided by the denominator is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. So that means I am covering a distance of 8. Okay, so I'm going from 4, and I'm going to walk 8 steps up towards 18. So what's 8 steps away from 4? It's 12. So this is the number, 12 is the number that is 4/7 from 4 to 18. So, or it's a distance of 4/7 from 4 to 18. Okay, so that number, let's try another one of those because those are kind of goofy. All right, we're going to get a new A and B. I'll just erase all of that and start fresh. Okay, so this time it says, what is the location of the point on the number line that is 2/9? Okay, so our distance, we want to travel 2/9 of the distance. 2/9 of the way from A equals 5 to B equals 23. Okay, so remember, it's just a line segment, and your endpoints are 5 and 23. That's your A and B. And now we want to go 2/9 of the way, so you can imagine 2/9 is closer to A. And we're traveling from A to B. So how do I figure this out? Again, we need to first find our total distance traveled. So 23, 5 to 23, we subtract those. Gives us 18. 18 is our total distance between our two endpoints. So if we wanted to just go 2/9 of that distance, then we're going to say 18 multiplied by 2/9. Again, 18 times 2 is not something that I have readily kept in my brain, but I can easily find 18 divided by 9. That is 2. Whoops, I was about to skip a step, guys. Okay, so I got 2 times the numerator of 2. That equals 4. So I need to travel a distance of 4, meaning I'm going from 5 and I'm going to walk 4 steps towards 23. So what is 4 steps past 5? It's 9. 9 is the number that is 2/9 of the distance from 5 to 23. Okay, so there's one more type of problem I'd like to talk about. It says, what are the coordinates of the point that is 1/6 of the way from our point A to point B? And I will erase this and show you all the numbers. Okay, so this one's a little different. Rather than A and B being single points, they are an ordered pair. So A is 14, -1, and B is -4, 23. Okay, and we're asked to find the point or the ordered pair that is 1/6 of the way. So we're looking for a distance of 1/6. Okay, so we need to find 1/6 of the distance from the x coordinates or along the x coordinate path and 1/6 of the distance along the y coordinate path. Okay, so we are going to find the total distance first. What's the total distance between 14 and -4? Well, we subtract them to find out. And 14 subtracted -4, it becomes 14 plus 4. So that's 18. So we need 1/6 of 18. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So I'm going to travel 3 steps from A to B. So 3 steps from A. Notice 14 is larger than -4. So it's up here in the positives. If we have a line, oops, I'm probably not even doing, I didn't even draw that partially correct. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's our coordinate plane. So we have 14, -1, that's about right here. And then we have -4, 23, that's going to be up here. That's B. So I'm going from A, I'm walking up this line, and I need to go 4 steps towards B. That means I'm traveling, or sorry, when I said 4, I meant 3 steps. I'm going 3 steps towards B, so I'm traveling down the number line. So what's 14, or 3 steps down from 14? 14 minus 3 is 11. Okay, I'm going to circle that so we don't forget that that's our x coordinate. We're going to do the same stuff to find our y coordinate. Okay, so we need to find the total distance traveled. So what is 23 subtract -1? I don't know if you guys heard that, but somebody has their phone on. Gonna have to take that away. Gosh, guys, really? Just kidding. It's my phone. Okay, 23 plus 1 is 24. That's our total distance from our y coordinates. Okay, so we need to find 1/6 of that total distance. 24 times 1/6. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So I need to travel 4 steps along my path from -1. I'm going to go 4 steps up. So -1 plus 4 is 3. And there are my 2 points. So my ordered pair, that is the midpoint, it would be about here-ish, because you can see it's 11, 3, and this is not drawn to scale, so don't judge it too harshly. But this is 1/6 of the distance from A to B at 11, 3. Okay, that is our midpoint. I know that was probably a really long video, but that is everything that you need and lots of examples for you. If you have any other questions, let me know and I will help you out.